I believe so.
New
We are live.
phone, but that shouldn't matter. I mean, I've been right. Peace, everyone.
Bougie.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.
We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Peace, everyone.
Okay, you kind of
All
going a
right.
little in and out. Just a little bit. Let me see. You
Ah,
talking?
1, 2, 3, testing.
Yeah,
Testing 1, 2, 3. Now,
yeah, you going in and out a little.
let's go back out.
Okay.
We leave back in.
Okay. Peace, love, and light, everyone. Welcome to my TV DMV. Today is Thursday, October the 5th, 2023. Having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to make it work. I hope everybody's having a good week. I hope everything's going your way. And hey, Uncode. Hey, Shadowban. Hey, Brendel Jones L. Hey, Gingers Plus. Yakub. Peace, love, and light. We're going to wait for Abdullah to come back. And then we will get started. Oh, let me say this one need to connect. All right, I don't know. Abdullah's having some technical difficulties. I'm going to get some tea. I'm just getting home. It's been a tough week. I don't know if everybody know, but I work for a law firm, and I'm telling you, some days it's just too much. Salute, Shadowban. Can everybody hear me okay? Because I couldn't really hear Abdullah. I hope it's not just him. I hope you can hear me. Everybody can hear. Okay. Thank you, Gingers.
All right. Am I better?
Yes, much.
All right. Good. All right. Peace, everyone. I got a new phone,
Oh, bougie.
so
Uh-huh.
yes. Peace, everyone. Look, we have here the actually the forgotten Moorish power and the burial of our Moorish nationality. We're going to delve into that as well. Along with that is the from Moor to black, from Moor to blackamoor to blackamoor to black. Yes, in fact, I'm going to be on Doctor's office hours with Dr. G. Am I too dark? I'm being like Shir Malachi Bay now. Let's get some light.
Yeah.
I'm in a different. All right.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I'm a little. That's not that bad. All right. Yes, I'll be on office hours with Dr. G next week, Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Addressing the same topic. She has a large audience. From Moor to Blackmore to Black, from Moor to Blackmore to Blackamoor to Black, the systematic burial of the national identity of a people. I actually did this topic on the SWIT network. It was audio, and
Mm.
on August, and it went over very well. So
Oh.
this is actually a PowerPoint presentation, and I did a lot of this at the lecture in West Virginia. There about three weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to delve into this PowerPoint presentation. We're going to also open up some questions and comments. I want the listeners, the viewers, to
You
take some
going in and out after you.
snapshots because this is ah, I don't know what to do. This like a new phone. I'm in the same. I'm in and out. Oh, back to- yeah, I'm at wow. I'm not full. I'm halfway. I'm looking at the what about now? No, I don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
you're a little dark.
I can just walk around. Let me see, trying to find a spot. Now it's getting worse.
What, the lighting? That's better right there.
No, not the lighting.
Oh,
No,
your
the
voice is fine.
All right. What about it's better now?
Yes.
All right. I'm just walking around to see if I can. I'm looking at my bars. I got
Mm-hmm.
I got two bars, so it's not
Did
fine.
you did you buy an iPhone?
No, no, this is still the Android Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
So
No comment. No comment.
you got iPhone lovers in the house. iPhone lovers in the house. All right.
Yeah.
The bars are up now. Not all the way
Okay.
up. Is it better?
Yeah, you sound better.
All right, good. So I'll just stay here for a minute. Yeah, so do we have here the forgotten Moorish power and the burial of the Moorish nationality. This goes hand in glove, everyone. All right. And that forgotten Moorish power. On the back cover of Moors and Masonry Part 1, we have a quote. There's a quote by Robert Davis, professor of Italian Renaissance history, Ohio State University. It reads, the enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is central to scholarship on the early modern era. I'll quote that again. This is Professor Robert Davis of Ohio State University, Italian Renaissance history. He's written several books dealing with the Moorish captivity of Europeans and Moorish power during the 15, 16, and 1700s. I reference him heavily in Moors and Masonry Part 1, as well as Moors and Masonry Part 2. His quote is, the enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is essential to scholarship on the early modern era. So the enslavement of Europeans equals Moorish power. The Europeans' history has not been taught in the school. They'll say it's these quote unquote African scholars. They call themselves African scholars. I challenge
Mm-hmm.
that they are. These quote unquote African scholars make the claim that they'll say black and white. They use black and white people constructive language. They'll say that only white people history is taught in the schools. Then that's a false statement. Well, they're not white people. European history is not taught in the schools. I'm challenging that.
Mm-hmm.
European history what these African scholars are calling white people, that history is not taught in the schools. That's a false claim. All right. Moors and Masonry, part one, disproves the claim. They were white, they were slaves, they were white, they were slaves by Michael Hoffman. This proves the claim. Robert Davis, Linda Colney, this proves these African scholars' claims that only white people history is taught in the schools. Their history is not taught in the schools either. That's a false claim. So our history is not taught in the schools, and their history is not taught in the schools. All right. Did you learn in the schools that we the Moors enslaved Europeans? Did you learn that in school?
I did not.
They didn't either, because it's not taught in the schools. It's not taught in the elementary school. Robert Davis class is an electric, is an elective. So he teaches the history in school at Ohio State University, but that's not part of United States history class. Like, it's not part of what they call United States history course. That's an elective course that he teaches at Ohio State University. That's not a universal course. That's Robert Davis' course. Italian Renaissance history is taught by Robert Davis at Ohio State University. That's not taught in every school, in every college. So that's not part of the general. Let me see.
Your voice went out. Can you hear me, Abdullah? We can't hear you. All right. Apologies to the chat. We're having technical difficulties.
All right. I'm back. All right.
Yes.
I thought Terrence had called. I thought it was an emergency, so he thought he was waiting for it. So we good. Well, and so we want to make it clear before I go into the main lesson that European history is not taught in the schools. What African scholars call white history, their history is not taught in the schools. And that's what Linda Colney, Christine Woodard, Robert Davis, Naber Matar, there was a conference in 2016, June 2016, a conference that dealt with captivity narratives, that addressing the issue of Moors capturing Europeans. And there were about the 7 keynote speakers and an additional 25 speakers at this conference. This was the International Conference of Captivity Narrative, addressing the issue. Also, the history of Europeans are not taught in the school, because that their history is that we seized their ships. That the history of captivity of Europeans was the major issue, major, with the Dutch Republic, among France, among the Irish, the English, the Swedish Republic, the Portuguese. This is a major issues among the Spaniards. This was a major issue. You had two captivity orders that were established. One in 1198 called the Trinitarian, and the Mercedarian established in 1238. They raised millions over a 600-year period. and freed hundreds of thousands of Europeans out of Moorish captivity. This was a major issue. This is not taught in the schools. They were white. They were white. They were slaves. By Michael Hoffman. He goes into shows state records where you had Irish and other Europeans. There's a book called I Have in Moors and Masonry Part 1 by Peter Wilson Colden. Peter Wilson Colden, Immigrants in Chains and Immigrants in Bondage. Immigrant in Bondage, I bought that for $50 for about over 25 years ago. There's a list of 50,000 Europeans that were bonded and chained. They didn't come over here. They were transported. They were packed like sardines, bonded in chains. So I'm chronicling, y'all. Short. I am explaining that their history is not taught in the schools either. That's a false claim by these African scholars that only their history is taught in the schools. That's not true. That's not true. Their history is not taught in the schools either. Our history is not taught in the schools, neither is theirs. That's a false history. So it appears that their history is taught in the schools. That's a false history that chronicles European power when they didn't have it at the time. Because that's to suppress our power. So they had to suppress their enslavement so as to get across this transatlantic slave trade story claim so that they can maintain European colonization and conquest of our land without our challenging them. So since we don't know who we are and don't know that we are native to this land, they have no challenge. They have no strong challenge among the native Moors because many of the native Moors have been indoctrinated into believing that they are descendants of people who were transported from the continent of Africa over here. So they don't have it. They're comfortable. They're comfortable. There's not a strong challenge against that. So he has the light in front of me, he said. While I'm in this area, I need to turn this on. All right. I got it because there's bad reception. I got I got this new phone. So Shannon says stop the light in front of me. Turn this light off then.
Yeah, you sound good.
All right. I sound good. So I'm here. And so this light this in front of me. So let me all right. Now what about now? Am I good?
Yeah.
All right.
We can see you, but you're not as bright as you usually are.
Well, he said the light was in front of me. He said bad lighting. I'm gonna turn it back on. He said something about good. Terrence just texted me. So I'm gonna keep like I was before. Is it fine? Is the lighting fine?
That's good.
All right.
Where you are?
All right.
How you are?
All right. All right. So I want to set the tone because we're going to have to stand toe to toe with our brothers and sisters. We'd have to stand toe to toe against these African scholars. We're going to have to stand what you can do. It's not a problem. It's a matter of having this is why I wrote Moors and Masonry Part 1, Part 2. This is why I put buku documentation in there so that we can stand toe to toe. So once again, the enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme. You got to understand what that means. What does Robert Davis mean by that? The enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is central to scholarship on the early modern era. So when you're talking about the enslavement of Europeans, you're talking about Moorish power. Why? Because the Moors are the ones that enslaved the Europeans. Mercedarian and the Trinitarian were established 1198 and 1238 to raise as captivity redemption orders, to raise finance, to redeem the pay the ransom and redeem Europeans out of Moorish captivity. That's the purpose of that being established. And then you had the central governing bodies aided in that as well. But they were these different orders, those orders raised money. So they had they passed the plate, and that most of that finance was used not to build churches. The finance was used for the ransoming. They was collecting ransoming finance because these are that was the reason why they were established. That's the reason why it was established. The reason why the Mercedarian and the Trinitarian was established. It was not established as some religious, it was established as a redemption order. Once again, is this history taught in the schools? I thought European history was taught in the schools. I thought European history was taught in the schools. Where's it taught? Where European history taught in schools? That's a false history. That's a false European history of this power that they didn't have. They're presenting them because they don't want us to know our power. Why, Abdullah? Why don't they want us to know our power? So they can maintain this slave trade story. What is this slave trade story about? What does it plant in our minds? That we came from somewhere else by having implanted in a mind that we came from somewhere else. We don't make the claim here. So what this terra nullius, land without people. Yes, the native people are here, but they're classified as black, nigger, colored. So politically they don't exist. So we don't exist politically. We don't exist. It's a fiction in law. We exist biologically, yes. We eat, we go to the bathroom, yes, we exist in that manner, but we don't exist politically. This is major.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go to the next slide, Najma. I just want to get the concept solid, because I need help, y'all. I need help. I need you to spit it like this, y'all. I need you to spit it like this. I need you to use Moor's masonry use the Moor's masonry. Show references upon references upon references upon references. You don't need to make outlandish claims. Don't say the slave trade didn't happen. Don't say that. Hear me out. Let me help y'all. You don't want to say, when you're talking to your coworker, your loved ones, your friends, let me teach you strategy. You don't want to just make an outlandish claim like that, where you now got people shocked. Yo, the slave trade didn't happen. As soon as you say that, they just shut down. You just shut them down. So use a strategy. Use Moor's masonry and get 1 point in Moor's masonry, part 1. Did you know this? Did you know that in 1198, Peter the Nosco establish a Trinitarian order in order to raise money to get Europeans out of Moorish captivity. Did you know that? Just give them little bits, give them solid references, and build to that. You have give them points of solid references of Moorish power. But when you go, slave trade didn't happen. It's just a strategy we have to be using. So use Moors and Masonry as a strategy. Give them bits, points of evidence, that you know this, and then drop it on them, another one next week. Check this out. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. The names Moor and Morocco. The names Moor and Morocco as the focal point in European kingdoms' politics, treaties, trading, commerce, diplomatic, and consular relations between the 700s and 1800s. Just follow this, y'all. Follow me here. So you're going to show that Moor and Morocco were the focal points in European kingdoms' politics, treaties, trading, commerce, diplomatic, and consular relations. You go to Moors and Masonry Part 1, and you'll see the documentary evidence. That's for someone to say who make the claim that we're not Moors. Moors who? Morons. Moors. Moor, who's they? So you're going to show that Moor and Morocco were the focal point with these European powers in trading, treaties, commerce, consular relations, and you will see the issue of settling slave issues in those Moorish treaties. You have to show documentary evidence. The problem is, my brothers and sisters, conscious Moors don't know enough. So don't know enough. This is why I wrote Moors and Masonry. We need conscious Moors to step up in the mind first so that they can defend Moorish sovereignty. They can assist in recovering our lost Moorish sovereignty. We have to rise in knowledge and documentary evidence. You never need to say Abdullah said. Please don't say Abdullah said. You don't need to. Why? Why would you need to say Abdullah said? Why? You got Moors and Masonry. You don't need to say Abdullah said. According to this treaty, according to this letter, according to letters written by Queen Elizabeth in the 1590s to Muhammad Ahmad Mashard. Reference sources. Next slide. It's too much so-and-so said. You know how many times I heard so-and-so said in 30 years? Thousands. I've heard so-and-so said by conscious Moors thousands of times. That's a weakness. That's a weakness in the teaching. Let me go to the teachers. Let me point to the teachers. I'm not going to point to the students. I'm not directing the students. I'm not directing those who listen to people like me on YouTube. I'm not directing to those who listen to me, people like me on Facebook. I'm not directing y'all. I'm directing those who are presenting. I'm talking to the presenters, because the listeners would never say if the instructor were presenting correctly, if the instructor was presenting with documentary evidence, then the listener would never say, so and so said. So I'm not faulting the listeners. I'm not faulting the students. I'm not faulting those who watch people like me. I'm not faulting y'all. I'm faulting those who are giving the instructions. That's faulty instructions. If they presented documentary evidence and point y'all to the documentary evidence, modeling for you, they would say, according to analyzing y'all would do this. According to analyzing the definition according to the etymological dictionary of the English language, 4th edition, dated 1910, Reverend Walter W. Skeet. Y'all would snapshoot this. You snapshoot this. So you go to work tomorrow. You don't need to say Abdullah said. You say, this is what you do. According to the etymological dictionary of the English language, 4th edition, 1910, Reverend Walter W. Skeet. Najma, I got to do this. Sister Najma, I have to do it this way. We got to kill the so-and-so said, Sister Najma. We got to kill that. That's a weakness in this movement. We got to kill it. So you would do that. And you would snapshoot this. You would show your coworker, your family member, your loved one, as soon as you get off the night. This is how you do it. You don't say Abdullah said. No. Abdullah's presenting references. So the so-and-so comes in because people who do what I do are not presenting references. That's where the so-and-so comes in from. They're just spewing they're foaming at the mouth. They're foaming at the mouth. They're foaming at the mouth. And you, hold on. Ooh. You know, you get so enamored. Ooh, and you take whatever they say. You know, no. Challenge me. Who am I? I'm Abdullah Bey. And? I'm Abdullah Bey. And? I'm no greater than you. I'm no greater than you, and you're no greater than I am. I'm no greater than you, and you're no greater than I am. Don't be enamored with me. Please don't. I'm not all that. This is some study and discipline. You can do the same thing I do. So don't be enamored and all that. I'm not no God. Don't view me as some Godhead and all impressed and no. You have the same ability that I have. And I have to say this. I have to come like this. Because I have to kill that so-and-so said crap. It's too much of this in this movement. It is very prevalent in this movement. That's a weakness in this movement that we got to overcome. We will not elevate. We must overcome the so-and-so said. We will not elevate as a people if we don't overcome the so-and-so said. We must kill it. Next one, Najma. Oh, no, let me continue. I'm sorry. Moor, a native of North Africa, a Moor or one of Mauritania, a black Moor, right? or Nigla Mensu edition 1627, Middle English, Mortis, plural, Moors, Mandeville's Travel, chapter 14, page 156, F. Moor, a Moor, Moranian, blackamoor, all right, Cot, Latin, Mortis, a Moor, Siegs, Smith's Classification Dictionary, derivative Moorish, and C. Morris, Morocco, Moranian, also blackamoor, spelt blackmoor, and Cot grave as above, a corruption of Blackmore, and Mesu as above, also spelt Blackmore, and being in Fletcher. So that's the etymological dictionary, 1910. Mm-hmm. Walter Skeet. And so you see the various spellings. That's a solid reference. That's 1910. All right, next slide. Moor, Moro, Mortis, Moro or Filipino. King Philip of Spain named the Moro people of the island after him. There's a president, the former president of Filipino. He's giving an address. He has women standing behind him. And he's giving the address and stating that Filipino is named after the Christian king Philip, and that the people are mortals. So someone says, I'm Filipino. You're a subject of King Philip. No, that's my nationality. No. You're a subject of King Philip. No, that's not what it is right now. Don't say this. That's not what it is today. Hold on. I don't know what that means. That's not what it is today. Hold on. King Philip put his name on you in the 1500s. You say 400 years later, it doesn't mean that. I'm lost. Hold on, help me out. I'm lost. How did the meaning change now? All right, so King Philip, that's his name, put his name on you. That's part of conquest, Spanish conquest of the island. He put Filipino is his name. King Philip, Filipino, that's his name. You said 400 years later, it doesn't mean that now. It's a legitimate nationality of a people. If that has the meaning, has nothing to do with King Philip no more, has nothing to do with conquest, King Philip no more. That's interesting. How does that happen? How does that now that the meaning now it no longer relates to King Philip when that's the origin of it? See, that's emotional. That's that fear. What what's her name? Francis Cress Welsing. Francis Cress Welsing calls it analytical fear. That's a term she has in the book called the ISIS Papers, a term known as analytical fear. Oh, no, that's not what it is today. That's analytical fear. Fear to address the true issue. But it's to our disadvantage that we are captured with the analytical fear. That's to our disadvantage. Because the Europeans gonna still put their foot up, you know what. They're not gonna stop. You could play that, put your hand in the head and sand all you want. You just made it easier for the conquerors to continue to put their foot up, you know what. Go ahead and play that game all you want. Because they ain't gonna stop putting their foot up, you know what. So what are we gonna do about it? Put our hands in the sand. Oh, well, don't mean that today. All right, next one. We gotta address things for what they are. All right, Blackmore in the 1560 Geneva Bible. The Bible and Holy Scriptures, i.e., the Geneva Bible, translation William Wintingham, Anthony Gilby, Thomas Sampson, Geneva 1560. Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Blackmore change his skin, then may also do good that are accustomed to do evil? Now, notice how Blackmore is spelled. Notice how is capital M.
Abdullah, Abdullah, walk around and
You
come
hear
back.
me?
Yeah, you were going in and out.
All right. Yeah, this phone. Listen, I never had this issue with the other phone.
Yeah, you sound good now. Start with
All right, better.
Jeremiah. Yes.
All right. Jeremiah 13:23. Can Blackmore change his skin? Then may also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Notice the spelling of black. Black is spelled with a lowercase b, and more with a capital M. This is Middle English. That's key. That's the next page. So if you were teaching this, you want to point that out to your friends, co-workers, so forth. You want to point that out to them because it's going to go over their head. That black is spelled with a lowercase. And what does that mean grammatically? And more spelled with capital M. More is a proper noun. So black's not a noun. This was not that's look at that. So pay attention to that. Next slide. All right, here we have black plus more in the 1599 Geneva Bible. Blackmore in the 1560 and 1599 Geneva Bible. Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Blackmore change his skin, or the leopard his spot? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So you notice that Blackmore is lowercase, and notice that it's separated. We're going to see later on that this is what I was saying, the systematic burial. Because now notice that it's separated, so it's easily identifiable. And then when you see later on that it's not separated, it'll have black or more. See here with Blackmore, it's easily identified. More is easily identifiable. Black's lowercase, more is capital. I have to point these out. This is part of the lesson. All right, Jeremiah 38:7. Now when Ebed Melech ye Blackmore, one of the eunuchs which was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, then the king sat in the gate of Benjamin. Notice the spelling again. Point this out. You have to point this out as part of the lesson. Notice the spelling of the word black and the word more, and that they're separated, whereby it means that more is easily identifiable. And then you'll start, like I said before, is that they'll place them together now and place black or more, and then more becomes lowercase. That's what? A systematic burial. That's a hiding. Because now more is not as easily identifiable in black or more as it is here in black space Moor, with black's lowercase, Moor's capitalized. Notice that. You don't think they recognize that? And that they wanted to systematically bury? You think blackamoor? Why didn't they continue with this Blackmoor? Blackmoor. Why didn't it continue with Blackmoor throughout the 1600s? They didn't. This is during the 1500s, Blackmoor. But throughout the 1600s, you see blackamoor. Notice that? That's why I called it a systematic burial. We got to point these things out. Jeremiah 38:10. See, I just can't just go past this stuff. I got to point things out. Jeremiah 38:10. Then the king commanded Ebed-melech, the blackamoor, saying, take from hence 30 men with thee, and take Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he, well, we can stop there. Now notice again the spelling of blackamoor. So in the 1560 and 1599 Geneva Bible, so that means throughout the 1500s, you'll see it's blackamoor, with black spelled with a lowercase b and more with a capital M. Throughout the 16, 17, 1800s, it's blackamoor. But in that form, blackamoor is not as easily identifiable. And then they what? Stop using blackamoor. Then there will even, you'll see in dictionaries, blackamoor being a what they call it, some type of bad name now, they'll refer to as a sign of disrespect. So they'll say blackamoor is no longer used because it's no longer used because it's disrespectful, but they call you black though.
Peace, love, and light, Shem.
Shem.
Peace. How you feel?
Excellent.
All right, next slide. All right. Now what I don't have here, I want to point out, y'all, in the same verses. I want y'all to look up at the same verses in the King James 1611. I don't think I did it here in this slide. I'll have it next week when I go on Dr. Naila's show, because I added it in, and I couldn't send that to you, Najma, because files were too long, so I had to send you the old one that I presented in West Virginia. All right.
So the 1611
now
is
in the 1611, yeah, 1611 King James. 1611 is King James. The same verses. You see Ethiopian. So they say substituted Ethiopian. All right. I mean, they substituted blackamoor with Ethiopian in the 1611 King James version. Just same verses now. So write down, get these verses, same verses in the 1611 King James version. You'll see Ethiopian. Once again, the systematic burial of the nationality.
So blackamoor to Ethiopian?
Yes, in the 1611 King James version. Yes, in the same verses. Yes, I need to point that out. I don't have them here, but I'll have it for next week, next Tuesday when I go in office hours with Dr. G. All right, so you see here, just continue. This is more references. Jeremiah 39:16, Jeremiah 46:9, Jeremiah, Ezekiel 29:10. You'll see the reference to blackamoor again. All right, go and speak. I won't read the whole thing. Go and speak to the Ebed-melech, the blackamoor. All right, so I already pointed that out. We have here Jeremiah 46:9. Come up, ye horses, and rage, ye chariots, and let the valiant men come forth, that the blackmoors. So once again, blackamoor, black is lowercase, more is capitalized, and the spaces means black. That means more is easily identifiable. That's the key I'm going to put out, because I want y'all. I want to model it for y'all. I want to model for y'all on how you teach it to your loved ones, your children, your friends, your co-workers. You don't want to just, so this is important that we have these references. Ezekiel 29:10, behold, therefore I come upon thee and upon thy rivers, and I will make the land of Egypt utterly waste and desolate from the towers of Syene even unto the borders of the blackamoors. So thus again, as I said before, King James 1611 version, same verses, you see Ethiopian in the same spot. Ethiopian will be in the same spot where you'll see blackamoors. That's a systematic burial. They don't expect us to see these things, know these. Now I want these black scholars to challenge us. Come on, black scholars. Where are you at? Challenge us. Challenge us intellectually. Say it's not so. You're calling us black, but we're not blackamoors. Hold on. We're not blackamoors, but we're black. We're not blackamoors, but we're black. You can't deny these references, though. All right, next one. All right, this is Jeremiah 38:12, and Edbed Melech the Blackmoor, all right, said unto Jeremiah. So once again, this is just another reference, and you look it up in the King James version. You'll see where Blackmoor is. You'll see Ethiopian. And so I decided I already put the references of the King James version, and I'll have that ready for. It's already, I'll have it for next Tuesday when I go on Dr. Naila's platform. And the flyer is already up there on my Facebook page. It's pinned, and I sent it to people's telegrams, groups. All right, next page. Can somebody post that in the chat? The link for next week. The link for the office hour with Dr. G. All right, office hour with Dr. G. I sent it to y'all, some of y'all telegram page. All right, next page.
Ezekiel. This is the next Ezekiel 30.
Oh, Ezekiel 30. Ezekiel 39. In that day shall their messengers go forth from the men in ships to make the careless Moors. Now, this one was just with Moors, to make the careless Moors afraid, and fear shall come upon them as in the day of Egypt, for lo, it cometh. All right. Next, that's the reference of Moors. Next one. All right. Blackmoor and blackamoor and other sources. All right. Misogonus, Cutting Ring, Laurentius, and Borina, 1577. I am by my country and birth a true Ethiopian. I have seen the blackamoors. Notice how black is spelled and Moor is spelled. And the men of sin. My father was also a natural Ethiopian. I must needs be very cunning. I have it by kind. So you see here, this is 1577 reference. So we're black, but we're not blackamoor. We're not Moors. We're not blackamoors. We're not blackamoors. We're black. So you have for a period of 300 years, from 1500 to 1800, Blackmoor and blackamoor was predominantly used. All right, next one. All right. Blackmoor used synonymously with Negro for 300 years. Blackamoor used synonymously with Negro. So we're Negro, we're black, we're not Moors, we're not Blackmoors, we're not blackamoors, but we're Negro and we're black. Somebody's trying to bury our nationality. Seems like somebody's getting paid. Seems like some people may have made a living pushing this black agenda. It seems like people that look like me and you ain't all for our best interests. It seems like people that look like me, and you is in bed with the Europeans. And they're not for our best interests. And they made a living pushing this black agenda. So it seems like people that look like me and you who's pushing this black agenda, right? They're going to fake like they don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it. Yeah, right. You're making a living pushing the black agenda. The Oxford Dictionary of English Etymology, edited by C.T. Onions, with the assistance of G.W.S. Frederickstein and W.R.W. Birchfield. Negro. Now this is for Negro. I got this reference from Terrence. Negro. And the Walter Skeets, I got it from Pecola Kusar Hill. Pecola Kusar Hill has the 1910 Walter Skeets Etymological Dictionary. So I got that reference from her dictionary. That she has the 1910 Walter Skeets English Etymological Dictionary. This is Terrence sent this reference to me. All right. Once again, this Oxford Dictionary of English Etymology, edited by C.T. Onions, with the assistance of G.W.S. Frederickstein and R.W. Birchfield. Negro. All right. So he looks up Negro. It has what? Black man, blackamoor. All right. It says Spanish, Portuguese, Negro. Oh, so you see here? Negro and blackamoor used synonymously. So what? We're Negro, we're black. We're not black Moors. We're not black. We're not Moors. We're not blackamoors, but we're black. Moor don't relate to us at all. But you see these references, it does. So what I'm saying is, I don't give a rat's you know what. Show the references. Let the references be your defense. Now who's going to look unqualified? Who's going to look unqualified? The one with the PhD. The one with the PhD is going to look unqualified. But who's going to look qualified? The one who ain't got the PhD, the one who's listening to me. Y'all going to be qualified. But the ones with the PhDs going to look all qualified. Yeah, see, they got PhDs, man. I mean, so they really know what they're talking about because they got PhDs. Don't be impressed with that.
That's right. Castrated for certifications.
Absolutely.
And they brought to the CAF system. Castrated. That's right. Mentally castrated. That's right. They went to the CAF system. These colleges are the CAF systems.
Absolutely. All right, next slide. Ethiopian. Blackmore substituted for Ethiopian in the 1611 King James. But I don't know if I had that reference. Let me go to the next one, Najma. I don't think I put that in. No, I didn't. I know because I had run out of time and stuff like that. But I have it in already. Put it up for next week. All right, Blackmore and Negro from 1500 to 1800, 300 years. Blackmore and blackamoor were used synonymously with Negro. And in fact, J. Rogers' book, Nature's Knows No Color Line, chapter 6, the Negro as Moor and European aristocratic families, he has many references where he shows. I have that in chapter 8 of Moors and Masonry, part 2. Chapter 8 of Moore's Masonry Part 2 are half the references that's in chapter 6 of J. Rogers' book, where he shows that Negro and Ethiopian was interchanged with blackamoor. He has about 3 or 4 pages on that. A gradual and systematic burial of our Moorish nationality. Blackmoor replaced by blackamoor. See, Blackmoor replaced by blackamoor. Remember, I pointed that out? Now, look, I want you to look at it. Which one is Moor is easily identifiable in Blackmoor? So it's like very little hidden in blackamoor. But like, so somebody sees it for the first time. They see Blackmoor for the first time. It's like easily identifiable. They see blackamoor, you know. So that's what I'm saying, that you don't think this was thought about? Why did they do it? Nothing's just done. It's not just done.
Absolutely, because in 1790, United States passed the act on nationality, and on our national act was declaring the first time you hear the United States calling legislating the creatures of the law. I mean, the DC Comics in 1790 created the animated cartoon character called Black Man.
Well, let's back up, Shim. Let me give them. Let's back up. Let's back up, though. All right. Let's go to the French. Let's go to French. Let's go to the French. Let's not start with the United States. Shim, let's not start with the United States. France and the Louisiana. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
France and the Louisiana Territory on our land. I mean, when I say the Louisiana Territory, that is a French zone. The Louisiana Territory is a French zone that surveyed a large survey portion of Moorish land. So I want to qualify that. The Louisiana Territory is a large surveyed portion of Moorish land under French conquest and French colonization, extending French territorial sovereignty on Moorish land. Let me say it again. The Louisiana Territory is a large surveyed portion of our Moorish land done under French conquest and French colonization, extending French territorial sovereignty on our land. We got to say it like that. We have to say it that we have that understanding. We got to show the world that we have risen to what's going on. All right. So in the French zone on our land, France applied the Black Code Noir in 1724. The French applied Code Noir, N-O-I-R, Code Noir in 1685 in Caribbean. The Code Noir was applied in the Caribbean in 1685 and applied in the French zone called the Louisiana Territory in 1724. It's not Black Code is English. Black Code is English. Code Noir is French. The French were the ones that applied that, and that's why I said we don't start with the United States. We gotta chronicle it. Got to chronicle it. So 1724. That's the French. That's not English. That's not the English. That's the French. 1724 and 1685 and Caribbean. So the French were the ones. Noir. Y'all noir. So the translation, the English translation of the French Code Noir is Black Codes. So the English, not United States, not United States, the British crown, not the United States. The French used noir, the English, British crown, before the establishment of the United States, used black. United States did not create the legal fiction black. The French did, and the English translated, all right? This is before, you're talking about the 7th, you're talking about the 1600s now. 1600s. What the United States is, let's qualify, all right? Let's hear me out, please, y'all. We do not want to separate the United States from Spain, France, the Netherlands,
That's right.
Portugal. That is, and I want to show y'all. Please, you're not going to have to say it. You will never have to say Abdullah said. You never have to say Abdullah said, because I have documentation up the butt. I got cases upon cases upon cases. Y'all already know it. I can show y'all what I'm talking about. I can show y'all that United States is functioning as a trustee. That United States is obligated. United States is obligated through the Spanish treaties with Spain, 1819. With the French treaty with France, 1803. With the treaty with Mexico, which is also what United States is obligated to oversee the protection of the Spanish land grants through the Treaty of Mexico. Why? Because Mexico, rising as the United States of Mexico, all right, became the overseer. Became the overseer of the Spanish land grants in New Mexico, in Mexico, in Colorado, in Colorado, in Nevada, and California. That was the United States of Mexico. That's the Spanish zone, all right. And then the United States of Mexico became that through the war with the United States war with the United States of Mexico, and the Treaty of Guadalupe. Through the Treaty of Guadalupe or Hidalgo, United States became the trustee. So that the trusteeship responsibility to oversee the protection of the Spanish land grant now was transferred to the United States through the Treaty of Guadalupe. You got to speak it like this. You have to show the references. You got to show where the transfer was made. So I'm showing y'all that you can't separate United States from France, from England, Great Britain. United States is a continuation by treaty with those European powers. United States is obligated by international law. We're talking conquest. On the European conquest of our land, and through those land boundary cession treaties, through those European conquering powers of our land, United States is obligated to oversee the Spanish land grants that the Spanish crown granted in the 15, 16, and 1700s. United States is obligated by international law and by those treaties to oversee those Spanish land grants. Why would we want to be part of that? We ain't part and parcel of the United States. Moor sovereignty supersedes the United States. Moor sovereignty supersedes the 1783 treaty between Great Britain and the United States. Moor sovereignty supersedes the Spanish land grant. Moor sovereignty supersedes those English colonies. Moor sovereignty supersedes those letters of patent. Why would we want to subjugate ourselves to conquering powers? Unless we don't know, unless someone told you you're part and parcel of this said government. We must understand. I was discussing with Okono today. Brother Okono, discussing with him today, and I was expanding his knowledge on nationality. I was expanding his knowledge on Moorish nationalization. And I said to Okono, there's no process, there's no piece of paper, no process that makes you a Moor. So what is Moorish nationality? Moorish nationalization. When you look up nationality in the political sense, you'll see what? Obligation and protection. You'll see allegiance and protection. So Moorish nationalization is bringing the Moors, the political process of bringing the Moors back under the protection of the Moorish government and Moorish flag. But that can't happen until you revive your mother. So none of us are nationalized. I know I said it. You're not gonna like me, but I don't care. None of us are nationalized. I will challenge any, hear me out. I will challenge any conscious Moor who claims he or she is nationalized. I will challenge any conscious Moor who claims to be nationalized. I'll challenge any class Moor intellectually. I'll challenge any conscious Moor. Any conscious Moor. Let me explain. Once again, you look up nationality in the political sense worldwide, allegiance and protection. So if you're talking Moorish nationalization, you're talking restoring Moorish protection. How can we when our mother is still in the hospital? I'll challenge, once again, I will challenge any conscious Moor who claims to be nationalized. Where is the Moorish military? Shem, call it now. Shem, call the Moorish military right now, Shem. Shem. No, they say they claim it. No, Shem, they say they nationalized. No problem. Shem, call the Moorish military right now.
Can't do it.
No, Shem, they said they nationalized. No problem. Shem, call the Moorish military right now.
You know the answer to that is.
No, because we don't. Shem understands this. Shem understands this very well. He understands this concept. Shem has elevated me. He understands this concept very well. Because if you're talking nationality in the political sense, you're talking what? Protection. You're talking protection, allegiance to protection. Look, please, y'all, don't look up the word nationality. Google the word nationality. Everybody right now. I don't want no one to say Abdullah said anything. I want everyone to Google the word nationality. You're going to see what? Allegiance, and you're going to see protection. In the definition, you have the consanguinity aspect of it, which is blood. But we're talking about the political aspect. Remember, we are Moors by blood, so we are already Moors. So ain't no paper. There's no paper that makes us Moors. There's no paper that makes us Moor. So what can it be? Restoring protection. In order to restore protection, we have to revive our state. We have to revive our Moor state. That's the Shem Malachi base plan. Shem understands this very well. Shem was the only Moor that understands this. Shem was the only Moor that understands this. The only one. I said was. I now understand it. Terrence understands it. Okono understands it. Najma understands it. Bakola understands it. Vasirius understands it. Okono and others and others and others. Shem was the only one 4.5 years ago. He was. I don't know any other Moor that understood it to this level. Because they kept saying we're nationalized. So the fact that they're saying we're nationalized is a clear understanding they don't understand. But Shem understands it to this level. Go ahead, Shem. Elaborate, brother.
Yes, sir. If you not, let's say for instance, there have to be a diplomatic relationship from a government to government relationship. There have to be a protector. There have to be police. There have to be there have to be sheriffs. Has to be a military setup. There have to be a legislative body that legislate orders, statutes, and placing laws to protect the people and do business with the foreigners in your land. So if you say you nationalize, where's your document of registration of your consanguinity, and where's your form to prove your arrival, your birth date, your delivery date from the woman, the mother, and what country you come from, and what delivery date, and what delivery date, and what political jurisdiction you deliver in, and what country that you are from. I mean, ask this saying, what motherland you from? That's your mother, the land. The land is your real mother because the land feeds everybody on earth.
Hold on, Shem.
So
Hold on, stop. Hold on, Shem. Stop there for a minute. Come on, hold on, Shem. Hold on, because you keep hold on, Shem, because you're saying land. Hear me out. Hold on, Shem, because they're gonna say this land, but that doesn't mean they're nationalized. They're gonna point conscious Moors, Shem.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Let me get there,
All right,
Professor.
all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me get there. Let me get there.
All right.
If you saying that you nationalized, that means you saying that you got a country, a mother you from, a motherland, and that you're protected by that government structure of
There
that
you go. That's
motherland.
it. That's it. That's it. You just did it. You just did it. Yeah, you just said you're protected. Hold on. I want to stop. Let me slow it down. Let's slow this down. I want to slow this down. What he said, because I don't want people, because what they'll do, Shem, I've been doing this for 30 years, brother. They'll take part of what you said and say, this is my motherland. They'll take part of what you said. So I want you to emphasize the government structure protecting the people. You must, because they're going to take, Shem, I'm telling you right now, they will take part of what you said. So we must emphasize the government structure protecting the people. That must be emphasized. Right.
I agree. You hear me? Hold on.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Hold on. I went out from it. Hold on.
No, you in. You good. You good.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. When you got a country, a mother, a country, you got protection because the country got a structure up, a political body set up to do
That's it.
the diplomatic relationship with that foreign nation to protect your rights. I mean that the other nation can legislate protect your rights. Your country has to legislate protect your rights. And when it legislates protect your rights, they create remedy forms, there's systems to protect you, check and balance, to protect you, put in place to protect you. This is why nations enter into treaties with one another. Why the treaty into the treaties are the indemnity agreement to protect you when you travel abroad across each other political jurisdiction. That's why they got passports. Passports, not just with ships coming at. When you pass through, if you cross the line, if you cross the line, a dirt road line, and this is a different county, you're another political jurisdiction. You have to go across the waters and come up on a ship. All you got to do is cross. All you do is travel your body across that Mason-Dixie line, and you're in a political jurisdiction of another government. The only thing about it, what kind of allegiance do you have with your government to have a contract with that government, agreement with that government to protect your rights as an alien, not bound by their laws, doing business, transactions, commerce, traveling, it protects you. So you got to have a government to protect you as your protector. If you don't have that, and how you say you nationalized in the government, you had nationality claims, and the nationalized, what government you nationalized at? First of all, when you was born, you were born with allegiance. Your mother had allegiance to a foreign government, so are you. So you're born with allegiance to a foreign government. So you have to terminate that allegiance and go back to your foreign, and you got to go back to your government and give your allegiance to that government.
Hold on, Shem. Hold on, Shem. I'm going to challenge you. Hold on. I'm going to challenge you. All right. Your claim, because I challenge us, y'all. Challenge us, y'all. Please challenge us. So what I want y'all to do is ask Shem, challenge Shem, ask Shem to produce into record Our allegiance. All right. All right. So let's start. No. It has to stay. So producing to evidence, not no more records. Oh,
Hold up, hold up, Abdullah. Think keep kicking me out.
let me go out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I don't have
Nah.
echoes.
Okay, Abdullah, right. This one thing I love about Professor Abdullah, because me and Abdullah going through this for years, and I love him for this. See, I tell everybody, go to the treaty, the document. Your government signed an agreement with a foreign nation for your government, any government that's operating in their political jurisdiction under the protection of that government, that mother country, there's certain criteria and protocol
Hold on,
that has to
Shem.
be done
Hold on,
to
Shem.
protect yourself.
Shem.
So let me
Shem.
say what I mean.
Shem.
The treaty
Shem.
say that there should be a signal and a pass given. Your mother goes into a hospital without a signature or a pass, meaning that she goes in there without no identification or no national standing and protection by her country. Means she's not coming from a foreign port country,
Shem.
motherland, state. Yes.
Shem. Hold on.
Yeah.
You have to prove. Shem. What's going on?
I don't
You have
know.
an echo, Abdullah. You have an echo, Abdullah. So do I.
I'm going.
All right, hold on. Hold on, Shem.
go out.
Before you go on, Shem, don't go any more further. Don't go further yet.
Let me go out. Come back in. Hold on.
No, let me go out.
Not you, Shem, it's not yours.
Who's it?
You and I.
All right, I got to go out then.
Shem. Okay. Woo. The Brandon Act. Someone said read the Brandon Act. Brandon means bay. Let me look up the Brandon Act.
Am I good?
Yes.
We don't want Shem to go any further until he proves that. See, I'm telling you, we have to do this. The claim on the table is.
Yeah, I'm back.
Shem's
I'm
claim.
back.
Hold on, Shem. All right, Shem, before you go any further, you must present the evidence, not explanations. No explanations. We don't want don't hear me out, please hear me out, Shem, because we're modeling for the people. This is very important. It's very important that we teach people how to argue. You made a claim. Don't give the people any explanations. Give them evidence.
Give you evidence. Your mother went to
Let me finish. Your claim is that our mother declared allegiance to the United States. That's your claim.
If you let me finish that, let me.
Shem, hold on. I'm doing it for the people. Hold on, Shem, I got you. Hold on.
Yes.
I'm doing it for the people. This is not just for you. This is for the people. We're teaching them how to argue in an academic sense. Your claims, this is for the people, is that our mother pledged allegiance to a foreign power that is the United States. That's your claim. You want to present no explanations. You want to direct us to documentary evidence of that allegiance.
I sure will. Can I finish?
All right, you got the floor.
Okay, I got the floor. Okay, you never came into nationalization immigration because they couldn't bring you into immigration because you're not a foreigner in your own land. So what they did was what you call a fraud, systematic fraud that created. When they passed the Enrollment Act, the Enrollment Act was look at the etymology for the word enrollment. Enroll. Your mother enrolled in a program system. She enrolled. When she went there, the mother signed for benefits, for hospital care, health care. She signed up for allegiance, for home housing, for protection. All this is a part of the Enrollment Act. These are the states acting de facto, stealing your birthright. And we don't know. So we have to understand, how can we be nationalized in the foreign government and not coming to immigration? I can tell you why. The Enrollment Act. Read the Enrollment Act, what it says. Read it. They took your children as collateral, commodities, and pledged them because they are the sovereigns of the land. So what they did, they pledged your children as commodities, as servitude, because they stole your birthright by calling you black and all the different misnomers. They stole your birthright, and the mother went into the hospital for a service. When she went to, that's called a express contract. She got entered to adhesive to a demonstration of express contract. She signed a signature on registration forms. These forms are actual contracts. I tell everybody, be careful what you sign because you can waive your sovereignty. You don't know how you sign stuff. Have to be very careful. When she went to the government, when she went to the hospital, she going to a foreign government, a foreign political jurisdiction. She asked for benefits, service, or something. For those services, she had to, for those services, she entered something to a bond, bondage. She going into bondage now. When she go into bondage, all her merchandise, her children, gets dropped on a foreign vessel. It goes up into what? It goes up to a bond and to a trust. This is why they create a fraud. They take your mother merchandise and create a constructed trust. Yes, the state do this. They won't admit this. They would not admit this. They will kill to keep this here. They won't admit this right here. That's why the CMR, look at the definition of a United States citizen. On the CMR, it says United States citizen is a trust entity. Come on now. That's proof. Or have to play no game, what they did. They couldn't nationalize you because that would be wrong to nationalize you because your status, the openly committee international crimes. So what they did was they used the mother, use deceptors. They used deceptive or deceit to trick your mother to enroll into a program, a systematic program where those she get the issue of bondage of the children for services rendered to her. Now when that happens now, your mother now dials 911. She got a problem. She go to the hospital. She applied for medical health care. She applied for food stamps. She got a problem. She called a cop. She want housing. She go to a system, a state system agency, and she want a voucher for electric voucher on minerals, electricity. She get vouchers. So what we see is that the people are being drafted in, not to nationalization. They be drafted into contract, private contracts, waiving their sovereignty. Don't know. They're not conscious of what they're doing because they've been brainwashed, darkenized, brainwashed. So what happens is now the child grows up with allegiance after the same pattern that his mother raised him under. So that's what allegiance come in at. It's not voluntary allegiance. It's involuntary. It means wrong. They're not voluntary doing this stuff. It's called culture genocide.
Well, you qualified it, so you qualified it, so that's good. Go ahead, continue.
And what they do is it's called culture genocide, where the Pope apologized for apartheid. This is apartheid in the culture genocide system. Now the child grows up thinking he's a fiction under some misnomer names: Black, Indian, Latino, Puerto Rican, Negro, Afro-American. By having these titles and going to the government pleasant, signing up registration, that's a form of a demonstration of a performance of express contract. Now you into a contract, they assume, that's called take. They take now for granted that you have now waived your status, protection of your country. Because every time you fill out a document, you never said that you're an alien, a non-resident alien. So it's very important. They never say on the document you're a non-resident alien, that your country is Morocco. You never say that because you never taught that. Called documentation. They steal your birthright through this process, systematic process. In other words, you are pleasuring yourself not knowing you're doing it. That's what it is. It's fraud. It is fineness. You are pleasuring yourself and not knowing you're doing it. You're pledging allegiance and you don't even know you're doing it. And how you know? How you know, Shim? We got Moors, the congressmen, the councilmen, the governors. They are pledging their allegiance to a de facto corporation. So they don't know this. So the first thing has to be done is you have to terminate that allegiance. and go back to your country. And the 59th Congress talks about that. And France had a discussion with the United States about the Moors' nationality. And the United States went in and said there's no nationality clause that the Moors use. So this has already been discussed a long time ago, anciently, by the France, United States, about how about the Moors' nationality status. How do they claim nationality? The United States said there's even a refugee treaty. It came up about the refugee treaty about refugees, stateless people. So what happened is, the moment your mother goes into the hospital, she considered a stateless person. Why? Because the state is giving her a corporate face. They're giving her a face. She's going to a what you call a adopted mother. That's adopted mother. The state becomes adopted mother, her protector. So we have to understand what's going on. We have to understand that systematic servitude that is being placed on us to our mothers and handed down to our children, and the fathers are castrated now, but they can't produce nothing. They can't produce any knowledge to protect their children, their house. So they strip the house of sovereignty, because the sovereignty is in the house. That's how the nation starts for the house. The matriarch and the masculine, feminine, masculine, the protector and the matriarch. They strip you of that. Now what happened is, how you get back right? You get back right by post-dominion. Where Abdullah was saying, we have to come together as one sovereign, as sovereign bodies, provincial governments, come together, sign a treaty among ourselves, so that when we respect each other, honor each other, political territory, each other rights, and liberty, freedom, and speech. And then we come together on a one national body government. When we come on one national body, then we take our people and bring them back to their country, their mother, back to the motherland. We connect our people back, leave their allegiance from that one land, political jurisdiction, bring it over to this over here. And once we do that, then they got an agency set up called Homeland Security, control all their customs and borders, traveling, passports. Your country opened up a diplomatic relationship with the Department of International Affairs, to Homeland Security to start sending them your documents of who you are. We call it restoration. See, everybody what a restoration really is. It's not just giving money. It's getting your damn land and your body back, your natural rights back. You need them first. You got to capture your body, your land back, your status first. You got to stand with a status and protected by a country.
That's my man right there, boy.
And then you come in, then you go to the ministers of all these foreign nations, Spain, France, and Great Britain, say we got a problem here. We want post-dominion. On the post-dominion, you have to give us respiration. What you mean? That bus terminal you got here, that train tracks you running here, all this cars you running, they're making billions of dollars a day. You have to return that money back to us for the reparation of the damage that you committed on us through the culture genocide and apartheid. How we do that? We bring the matter to them, then the matter runs to the World Court before the Hague, and we can produce the apartheid Malfeasor, the Malfeasor apartheid and genocide, culture genocide that they did. Then we bring in the Pope of Rome bull, his letter, his paper bull, that he say that all the apartheid and genocide, cultural genocide, Malfeasor of law, and apartheid was committed by us. Who was us? The European nations. And we have to pay these people back for what we did wrong to them. Use the Pope as a witness. We'll win all day long. But you got to have a government.
Can we clap for him? Please, can we clap for him, y'all? Can we clap for him? Awesome. 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 That's my man. That's my man. That's my man.
And you go to the courts, talking like this, you don't have, see, let me explain something to you. The moment you go to the court talking this, you have no diplomatic immunity, no exemption. Why? Because the treaty does not allow you to go before a tribunal of a government that's in treaty, allow you to adjudicate this kind of level of jurisprudence. You're not allowed to do that. That's why they would lock you up and put you into a cell and have the council have to come and deliver you on a writ, say you're legally detained, and tell you that you cannot do that. You have to bring the matter before me. I have to adjust the matter before the council of the nation that got the zone here in Morocco. Based on the treaty, we deal with them, not the courts. They have no authority. The courts are the creatures of the United States. They have no authority to deal with treaties. They're not a parent. The United States is not a parent. The only thing the United States is allowed to do is protect the interests of Spain, France, and Great Britain when they're lower proprietors and the patent holders and charter holders go to the court and argue that
And they
they
do
being
that. Yep.
and they operate as the
Right.
fiscal agent, they operate as the
Yep.
banker, and the broker
Yep.
to broker that deal. See, this
Yep.
here know what's going on here.
He's right. He's right. He's right. He's right. Shem. Woo. Awesome, brother. This is, and we need this, man. This is we need this. We need this level of education. We need this.
And then what the mother can do now is the mother can file a complaint for culture genocide against her children and say, well, you took my child and created a constructed trust and stole my birthright. What's your birthright? The water, the air, the minerals, the energy of the air, electric, the water, the fish, the markets, commerce, all this stuff. It was stolen from you. How's it stolen? By taking my children, have my children indoctrinated, that participate, to pledge their loyalty and allegiance to your foreign corporation and not theirs. Meaning that you can't use no excuse, well, we didn't know who he was. No, that's not an excuse. You committed a fraud, a major fraud. And how can I prove it, Shem? Prove it, Shem. I don't believe that. Go to CFR and type in what's the meaning of the CFR on trusted. It come up the United States, Cornell University breaks this down very well. It say a trust is a United States citizen, a national of the United States. So Indian is the trust. Afro-American is a constructed trust. And Puerto Rican is constructed trust. Anybody with all these names, Negro, the Spanish call us Negroes, the British call us Indians, the French call us blacks. So you end up in a constructed trust. What you really is, you're a Daffy Duck, a Donald Duck. You're an animated cartoon character. You're very famous, making a lot of money for them. And this, I'm explaining to more. This is why they passed the civil rights bills, legislation, to protect their patents, because you're their property. The moment somebody abuses their property, that black man, that Negro, Afro-American, they pass legislative law called the Civil Rights Act to protect their property. So you got to understand what's going on here.
My man, bro. Jurisprudence at its finest, y'all. Jurisprudence at its finest. But I want to tip my first on that, my tip, brother, for you for your teachings, brother.
And let me say something. So the boys can't be kept. You got to understand. Just like they use their Supreme Court philosophy, what you mean, Shem? The ideology and opinions and the concepts of that Supreme Court, we must honor our elders too. They give philosophy, give their opinions, because equity, the jurisprudence of the equity, the value of your statement, the value of your opinion, the value of your ideology.
They ain't living though. They're not living. You said honor our elders. They're not living now.
Yes, true. And
I want to clarify. You said elders. Hold on. You said honor our elders.
Yes.
They're not living. Because those who are living 70, 80 years old, they don't know this. They don't know this. Those who are 70, 80, 90 years old do not know this. So we got to go back 400 or 500 years.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's true. That's true. I'm not talking about a mortal man or woman. I'm talking about elders. Right. I'm speaking about the philosophy of the language.
Oh, I got you. I got you. All right. You clarified.
The language is air, breath, oxygen. It doesn't die. It's carbon. It never dies. It's infinite. It never dies. True. So when I say elders, go back to the philosophy of your ancestors and learn this philosophy and apply it in your life. And you're supposed to be the one to give the opinion, the idea. Your opinion and your ideology becomes what? The jurisprudence is up on the equity, a value on the equity of decisions, of opinions, school of thought, methodology. It's very important. We got to know this.
It's a volume. It's a volume of the volume of decisions. You know.
Yes.
Absolutely. He's right. Yes. Good point, Shem. That was great, brother.
If we don't respect,
we gotta challenge him though. We gotta challenge him still. Like I said, we're not above challenge, y'all.
That's right.
He did a great job. He did a great job.
That's why I said I love Professor Abdullah. Abdullah said, "Don't leave it like a blank check. Write that check out. Spell the numbers out." So
Exactly.
everybody can read that check and the numbers so they cast the right way. I like that.
That's right.
As you can see, me and Professor Abdul don't take no pull no punches, not even ourselves. But pull no punches. If you talk this, you must know this. You gotta repeat this in your head as if it's quantum language in your head. That's how I got to be, as if it's quantum language inside your head. What you mean? You become now the architects and designers of shaping your future for your people.
My man.
In other words, burn
Okay.
your incense. Burn your see, incense is not just you burn to make the house smell good, get rid of bad odors. Burn your incense is your words, your language, your verbiage. Burn your incense means speak the truth, speak proper concepts so you get a good odor, fragrance in there, so people can understand, have knowledge. That's your incense, your words, your breath. When you talk out your mouth, that's your incense.
Hey, Najma, let's open up for questions. Let's open up for questions. Because this is a lot. This is a lot. So let's slow this down for questions. This is a lot.
We must pick up where we left off at the treaties. Nationality determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance, which domicile determines his civil status by birth or naturalization.
All right, let me stop there. Let's stop there for a minute. All right, let's stop there. All right. Nationality determines the political status. All right, now I want to qualify that. It's very important, y'all. That statement is nationality in a political sense, not nationality in a consanguinity sense. All right. So, because nationality in its consanguinity sense, ties you to your birthright, ties you to your inheritance. Nationality in a consanguinity sense ties you to your genealogy, ties you to your family crest. When you're talking political status, you're talking nationality in a political sense. So when like for instance, we got to keep in mind, this is very important, that the international community has used nationality in a constructive sense. In the international community, nationality is used, is interchangeable with citizenship. Here's the reference. Here's my reference. 1948 United Nations Human Rights Proclamation. Article 15, Section 2. Write this down. 1948 United Nations Human Rights Proclamation. Article 15, Section 2. Article 15, Section 2. Everyone has a right to change his nationality. Hold on. You can't change your bloodline. They're using nationality and they're interchanging nationality in the citizenship. So nationality in the German Nationality Act in the 1935. See, I'll give references, y'all. Just follow me. See how I'm giving references. I'm not just spewing. I give references. 1935 German Nationality Act. And throughout, I'm going to let me lead up to that. I'm going to lead up to that. Throughout the 1800s, you had what's called jus soli and jus sanguinis. These are two principles in international law that deals with citizenship. Jus soli, J-U-S, is a term, space, S-U-S-O-L-I. Then you have jus sanguinis, J-U-S space, S-A-N-G-U-I-N-I-S. Jus soli, jus sanguinis, these are the principles of international law under citizenship. All right? Throughout the 1800s in Germany, there was a political football where they went for back and forth with jus soli, jus sanguinis. So when it came whereby just solely means that if you're born in a land, you automatically become citizen of that nation state. That's if that nation state adopts the principle of just solely in her nationalization laws. All right. If you have just sanguinis, that's by blood. So you become citizen by blood relations. All right. That's just sanguinis. So throughout in most parts of the 1800s in Germany, just solely was being applied in Germany. In the German Nationality Act, in 1935, German Nationality Act, they went to the consanguinity principle of nationality. And it states there that German would be used in a consanguinity sense and not in a political sense. It's very important, y'all. It's very important because in the consanguinity sense, it ties to the birthright. It ties to the national sovereignty. So that's key. So once it's very important that you understand the distinction and understand and know that that international community is interchanging nationality and citizenship. That's a fraud.
Yes, sir.
That's a fraud. You can't change your nationality. They're using nationality in a constructive political sense to steal our birthright.
And back up, Professor Abdullah said, if you go to the Mexican Constitution, Mexican rights in their Constitution, their consanguinity say that they're Mexicans. That's their citizen political status. They consider themselves on their political status. That's their nationality for them. On their a conquest political status, they call themselves Mexicans. So they're not calling themselves Native Moors because the knowledge is not there for the writer who formed that. Because most of these writers that form these constitutions already been castrated in these colleges. They're not taught the science that we teach them right now. So if you erect a Moor state or a house, you know how to write in the science to protect your rights. That's why when France was going back and forth, the United States, the first word France used, they used the word native Moor. Very important. Nativity, they use the word native Moor. Why would France use the word native Moor? They use the word Indian. They use the word black. They use the word none of these de facto titles because France was submitting a sovereignty claim based on the people that's sovereign to the land. And they said native Moors. Very important. Why would France use the title native Moors? If France going to battle the United States over land territory in Morocco, why they call the people of the land native Moors? Not Native Americans, not Native Indians, not Native Black, not Native, all these different kind of things they say Native Moor. Use the word native first and put the word Moor behind it. Meaning that the origin of the people of the land is Moor. They're Moors, that's it, Moroccan. So in order to get respect, we have to come together self-determined because the bottom line is right here. We have to come back. Number one, we got to protect the women, the children. The mother have the children. She's the matriarch. Under old biblical principles, the woman gets protected. She's the one to hand down the philosophy and stuff to the children and teach them. So that way when they grow up in the community, they become already got a background in the commerce and etymology and also and the political affairs of their community, of their nation. The mother teaches this. She teaches this. But how can the mother teach this? She's not protected. She is not protected. There's no military that Abdullah say. You say you're more, you got all this stuff. Where's your military at? Where's the protection at? What can your woman go at a farm, get clean food, and slaughter animals, get clean meat? Where's the protection at that she can grow her food and sell her food without being licensed? What protection that she's free to invent anything to help what people are. Where she at when she travel to keep a foreign government from coming to the house, snatching her children, and taking her into custody as in bondage? Because you know why? Because they got the bond of your mother and her children. So we as a Moor's government will come back and straighten it out. And I already got plans in effect how to recoup that, to straighten that out. But we gotta have a government, up and running government do this. Without a government, we can't do nothing. So all y'all see, this is the problem more. Oh, why do you need a license? No, excuse me, yes you do. You know why? Because your government said pass.
Oh, he's on we'll wait for him to come back on. Another question, Najma.
Our government structure is still here, but has been buried alive. We must wake her up, dust her off, and restore her. Nationality.
We'll say that's right. That's right. That's good.
Nationality means that quality or character which arises from the fact of a person's belonging to a nation or state.
There you go. There you go. There you go. See, using the political sense. Then I tell you, belonging to, that's protection. Belonging to a political nation or state. See? When you look up nationality, you'll see the political sense that dealing with belonging to, protection, allegiance. And you look up other words, you'll see allegiance, you'll see protection, belonging to nation state. Absolutely.
Excuse me, I went out. See, what we have to understand is that I like Abdullah Bay for this one thing, and not one thing, a lot of things. Excuse me, but one important thing Abdullah said was very important. Go to the document. If the agreement say a signal and a pass and papers, what do we have? Here you got papers, an affidavit of papers that you issue. Oh, what kind of power you got by yourself? Where's your government at? Your government gives you the papers, everything you need, and also gives you a license. What the license for? Which allow you to pass the port. See, when you go on these streets out here, what are you going on? The streets got what? Rubbish. It got asphalt, concrete, rebars. There's a structure built on top of your land. That's a commercial structure. You'll go on a commercial structure with a commercial vehicle, and your nation got to protect you with diplomatic.
Hold on. Shem, stop there. Shem, we did this before. Hold on, Shem, back up. Hold on, Shem. That's not it. That's not it. Hear me out, Shem. That's not it. This is very important that we went over this before. All right. It's not the rubbish. It's not the asphalt. None of that. This follow me. And this is important that they understand. Let's go to the Treaty of Paris, y'all, because you don't need to say Abdullah said anything. Article 1 of the 1783 Treaty between Great Britain and the United States. All right, it's not the rubbish, it's none of that. There are political zones. It's political zones. Article 1 of the 1783 Treaty between Great Britain and United States. His Britannic Majesty relinquishes New York State assumes rights under the Duke of York's charter, the 1664 charter that King Charles II granted his brother, the Duke of York, a charter outlined in the New York Colony Charter is the boundaries. This is what they operate on. This is very important. In that charter, the boundaries. New York State is assuming rights under that charter. So that was now New York State is operating it in the boundary. New York State now is extended to New York State. So when you're on our land, yes, we're on our land. Because of European conquest and colonization, New York State, by virtue of that Treaty of Paris, is assuming rights under the Duke of York's charter. So you're in the boundaries, you're in the survey boundaries of the ink of the British Crown extended to New York State. Hear me out. People versus Godfrey. People versus Godfrey. Godfrey, Godfrey. You don't need to say Abdullah said anything. Article 1 of the definitive peace treaty between Great Britain and the United States. His Britannic Majesty acknowledges the United States, viz., all 13 are named individually, all right, and relinquishes United States, the free, sovereign, independent states, and relinquishes. All right, so that's one. Then you have the People versus Godfrey, 1819 New York State Supreme Court case. I said this 2 weeks ago. An incident happened on a United States military base. But yes, it's the United States military base. The murder happened on the United States military base. The question now, New York State claimed to have jurisdiction because of where the base lies, the fort. It's not the Niagara Fort lies in the boundaries that was what relinquished to New York State. So thereby New York State, by virtue of the 1783 Treaty of Paris between Great Britain and the United States, had territorial sovereignty over that case, territorial jurisdiction over the case. Now we have the French zone. Once again, the French zone on our land, due to French surveying our land under conquest and colonization, that Louisiana territory, that was what? On the 1762, Great Britain made a deal with Spain to have France cede that territory to Spain due the Treaty of Fontainebleau. That's what's called a land boundary. This is conquest. All right, these are the European conquering powers, colonial conquering powers. So France ceded. That's called a land boundary cession treaty. France ceded the Louisiana territory to Spain in 1762 through the Treaty of Fontainebleau. In 1801, Spain retroceded it to France. In 1803, France sold and ceded it to the United States through that treaty. Now, United States, and now what? Was transferred to the United States or ceded it to the United States. And United States created 15 states. So now those 15 states, with those different boundaries. So that's we have to be able to explain it. This is how they operating. I can show you through cases. I said People versus Godfrey, Society versus New Haven, Ware versus Hilton. This is how they're operating.
Yes, sir.
It has nothing to do with no concrete, y'all, no asphalt, none of that. It's these treaties, it's these charters, it's these surveys on the conquest. That's how they're operating. All right?
Well done, Professor. Well, break it down. The zones. That's right.
And I want to thank Shem Malachi Bey, y'all. Shem Malachi Bey gets the credit for this.
Thanks, Shem.
And another thing, Professor is right. See, what we have to understand is this here. It's very important that it was already decided in 1926 when the Netherlands had the same problem when the boundaries and succession treaties was done. I want you to understand, Moors, it does not take away the pre-existing rights of the native people that already exist there.
No.
They still have, they don't take away. The courts decided that already. It doesn't take away your rights. So you have the right to run. No. So only thing we have to do is run government, set the government up, and do diplomatic relationship all these foreign zones. All we have to do. Diplomatic relationship, diplomacy. That's all we need. Diplomacy.
And then it's important to understand why this knowledge is important to know who we go to address these matters. We don't go to the United States.
Absolutely.
Hear me out. Hear me out. United States has no authority. All right. United States does not even have authority over that over Moorish land where New York State operates. United States don't have no authority over that. Hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. All right. I'm gonna say it again. The United States does not have authority over New York State. New York State's authority supersedes that of the United States. Here we go. Once again, people Godfrey. You ain't got to say Abdullah said anything. People versus Godfrey. New York State won the case. New York State had territorial jurisdiction over the case, even though the murder happened on the United States military base. It's because where the base is, that was relinquished to New York State. And in that case, People versus Godfrey, 1819, the New York State Supreme Court case, United States acquired no territory right through that treaty. So you don't go to the United States. You don't go to New York State. You go to Great Britain because Great Britain is the occupying sovereign. It was Great Britain to that 1783 Treaty of Paris that relinquished to New York State, that relinquished to North Carolina State, South Carolina State, Virginia State, Pennsylvania, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, North Carolina State, Georgia State.
Absolutely. And also the 1856 treaty with Great Britain and Morocco made it clear that anytime a Moor is in the crown territorial dominion, that the Moors got political jurisdiction over all civil and criminal affairs. So you have to understand, this is why it's very important to have your government behind you with the proper paperwork and the proper credentials, because then when a dispute arises, the council comes in and says, excuse me, it was already res judicata decided in the treaty that I have all the jurisdictional power that exists, not you. Also, Spain, also in the Granada Treaty between the Moors, Spain also acknowledged that when it comes to the Spanish zone in Morocco, that the Moors got all political jurisdiction over their own affairs, all jurisdictional jurisdiction, all in civil matters. It was decided with the United States of America on the Day Treaty and the Bay Treaty of Tripoli that any dispute arise, that the days are adjourned, so that should be the only one that handles the dispute. That's the council. So you see, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, you see how important it is to have a government? These documents protect you. That's your insurance policy. It protects you.
Man, you the man, brother.
Let me explain something to you. If the United States Congress pass a bill say that we're going to punish aliens, do you know Supreme Court Marbury versus Marbury say if Congress pass a law that modify or diminish the Constitution, the law is void on its face. So they can't pass a legislative doctrine to say Moors are stripped of their rights, because it makes it clear in Article 6 that treaties are supreme law of the land. Let me explain.
And it can't appear contract. The Constitution states that they cannot impair contracts. Cannot impair the obligation of contracts. Yes.
And we gotta understand what's going on. When you argue, Abdullah, right? Well, see, you should be arguing nothing. When you go into arguing, you know, when you go to the court to file a petition, you become a United States citizen because you're asking them to do something for you. In order to do something for you, you have to be you have to be a resident or United States citizen to get jurisdiction.
No, hold on, brother. No. That's not correct. Hear me out. You said they become a United States citizen. No. That's all right. That's no. Hold on, Shem. I'm gonna give a case. All right. That's that case that went to the International Court of Justice. Come on, Terrence, I need your help. That case that went to the International Court of Justice, the Beard case. Well, he was in Virginia. He was in Virginia. He waived his rights. He waived his rights.
to
He was
to to counsel. He raised by the council,
yeah,
right?
raised his right to counsel. He raised his right to
Yeah, I remember that.
counsel. Beard, Breard. His name. It's the last name. I forget the name of the case. Name of the case. All right. He didn't become a United States citizen by waiving his rights. It was that he waived his rights. He waived his rights to counsel. He not that didn't by waiving his rights doesn't make him a United States citizen. There's nothing. All right. There's nothing in United States legislation. That's what I'm saying, Shem. We gotta. This is very important. This is very important that we give them this instruction because they're gonna. You already know. I ain't gotta say it.
Well,
There's not. There's there's no legislation. There's no United States legislation when it comes to United States citizenship, that a Chinese, a French, a Moor, a German, etc., becomes a citizen of the United States by waiving his rights to counsel. There's nothing in international law. There's nothing in treaties. There's nothing in United States legislation that states that. Hear me out, y'all. Please follow me, y'all. Please follow me. I want them to hear me because they need to understand how to argue. They need to understand how to argue. When you hear Shim and me, please challenge us. Challenge us. Challenge us.
Now, years ago, we Abdullah created a document called Determination of Assumption and Assumption. Let me say so you understand. When you go before a tribunal and say you're Moor and start litigating cases, under the assumption and presumption, they take it that you are a non-resident, you're a resident citizen of the state and the
You waiving
citizen
your
of the
rights. You just waiving your rights. It's a waiver. It's a waiver. It's a waiver.
But under presumption to them, when the judges rule on a case, they take it for granted that you are a what? A citizen of that state and a resident of the United States. That's why they litigate the case. It's not a nationality act that make you that. It's by them taking the presumption. Remember, the United States work on assumption and presumption. They take to adhesive contract. See, you don't have. You do not have to enter contract with the United States. Any legislator, they take the meeting of the mind, he's the contract, and they mind when you come before them, you are asking them to do something, so they assume under assumption that you are a citizen of the state and a resident and a citizen of the United States. This is the United States' whole playground game they play. Assumptions and presumptions. They enter you to adhesive contracts, and you not knowing about what's going on. If I say, hey, brother, hey, sister, don't go in there. Put the court on notice that your counsel contact the counsel office. And he had the orders of international affairs. Guess what happened? The case will go away.
All right, let's stop there. Let's stop there. Go. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but I hear what you're saying, and you are right in principle. You're right. So let me out. I said you're right in principle. I want to be clear. I want them to let them know that our situation is different than that of a Chinese, that of a French. Our situation is different because of the generations, because of the massive ignorance, because of indoctrination, because of the generations of mass denationalization of people, Negro, colored, black, African American, Indian. All right. So I said no, because I want people. It's very important, Shim, that they understand that our situation is different than that of Chinese. Chinese, that is an erected state. Our state has collapsed. China, France, Germany, Nigeria, etc. These are up and running erected states. All right.
Yes.
They're erected states, and they got erected. They're operation. Our state has collapsed, and our people due to European conquest, has been for generations, for 16 plus generations, have been under mass denationalization, classified as black, Negro, colored, African American. All right. So our
Absolutely.
situation, no, we have to. This is it's very important that I say this. Our
Yes.
situation is different because what you did was you compared our situation with those of who belong to a directed state that's not collapsed. So you gotta that's comparing apples and oranges. So they're used to this has been all right. I mean, all our people have been subjugated and been placed under the 14th Amendment. You're
That's
talking
true.
about 100 if you're talking about 160 years, Jim.
Yes,
You're talking
sir.
about
Yes, sir.
160 years. So our situation is different. It's very important that I give them that so that they can add that to their analysis.
So this is
All
why
right.
it's very important. It's why it's very important that y'all create these provincial governments so we can come together and create one national government so we can protect ourselves. And matter of fact, we are claiming as the people the direct sovereignty that the Sultan wants exercised. We are claiming that collectively status as we, the native Moors of Morocco. We claiming that. So you have to understand. See, the Sultans have succeeded, made France the successor of his throne, the monarchy. Yes, in the Fez Treaty, he did. When he did that, it is upon us to come together now with our authority to now do a proclamation, declaration of independence from that protected treaty that France was given and claim that sovereignty that the Sultan relinquished. He relinquished the sovereignty. He gave his throne. He gave it up. He gave it to France. So we have to capture it back. That's our job, to take back what was taken from us or was given away by our emperor. So we have to understand these elementary things that happen. There's steps that we got to take, and we cannot be out arguing, get mad at Professor Abdullah because he's teaching the truth and you don't like it. You better stop that mess, because that ain't get you nowhere. Get us nowhere. Nowhere in a hurry. What you doing, your attitudes, you plotting us, you killing
We
us.
gotta wait for
We got to stop this stuff. We got to stop the bad energy and jump on board this vessel and get to our motherland and dock there so we can secure ourselves, our cargo. What's the cargo? Our people. Come on. We lost that sea now. We at wreck on somebody else's shores, and we got a vessel, and we not going to use the vessel because we here arguing about, oh, I don't want to go back to the vessel. I want to drive the vessel, or you can't do this on the vessel. Just get the vessel up and running. If somebody been endowed with the plan, the knowledge to control the vessel and repair the vessel, just get aboard the vessel. He got the map to make the longitude and latitude voyage to our land. Let's do it. Let's stop playing. Let's stop arguing about a man 50 years ago. Yeah, he was the captain, but he never navigated you to your land. He couldn't get you there. Why do I have to argue with you about a dead man that was living, that could not do no harm, no harm? Let me tell the truth. A beloved man that I learned from him also. Why should I argue with you over a man that passed, that departed his life? And now, when he left you, is the fact that you are Moors. But the fact of the matter is, he did not take us back to where we didn't go at. So now Abdullah is teaching us the proper way what we have to do. Why argue with this man, compare this man with a man that's deceased now? We gotta stop doing this stuff.
No. We get brother. Shim is the one, y'all.
No, let me finish, Professor, because it's very important. Because I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people out there that hate you because you love your people, and the majority of them are your own people. I'm keeping it real, Abdullah. There's a sword for you, Abdullah, by our people waiting to swing and hit your head. How you can tell, Shim, by the incense that they burn, by the communication, their voice, what they saying. That's your incense. You to your verbiage, your language, your demonstration, how you act, what you say. That tell me all about you. So here's a man that got the proper hit. Let me say something. I said it before. If Abdullah was an Albion, Abdullah would be a billionaire. You know why? Because the Albions would jump. Every Albion around the world would support Abdullah. They would donate to his cause. You got Albion, the highest degree of business capital, will back Abdullah, sponsor him at whatever he's doing. You know what? Abdullah is for the Aryan race. He's for the Albions, for European powers. They're people. Now here he is, our people. He's backing our people right now. There's no lie. It's the foreign nations right now, even though they're under conquest, the moment they have a tragedy, all of them come together and do a GoFundMe and donate into a pot enough money for them to escape the tragedy of getting out of the situation they're in. Here we is in the wealthiest nation in the world that spends $600 million a year on hamburgers, $2 billion on sneakers and clothes and stuff like it ain't nothing. On cell phones, social craft engineer that messes them up, does nothing for them, and they can't come together. 1 million people can't come together and donate to have a fund set up so we can help ourselves and have to ask somebody for nothing. This is the bad shape that we in. And it's sad. Here's a man that put his life on the line. This man, do you understand what this man is doing? This man putting his life on the line, teaching you something, forbidden science that they're not teaching in Harvard. They're not teaching in Yale. Are you kidding me? Not you. They're not teaching you nothing. They see you there to only indoctrinate you to the caste system. When you come out, represent them and their political arena. Keep all the Moors looking towards you. When in fact, you know, what a cartoon character, a creature of the law. But they look to you, they vote for you, they vote for the people you're around, because know why they say? He gonna get us out of this. He our Messiah. He gonna help us out. He gonna become a congressman, he become a president, a governor, but you're being sold a pipe dream. Because you're not, see, that system, Abdullah is resurrecting you. He's not castrating you mentally. He's giving you the components, engineer designing your mind, your thoughts, how to get out of this oppression that we in. And this hurt me real bad. And the fact this man put his life on the line and nobody support this man financially, let me tell you something. If I was a billionaire, I'd give Abdullah about $100 million overnight. You know why? Because Abdullah is going to help, is going to benefit me. Where happened when it comes for all my money, my wealth for me? I got to ask you where they go to. See, that's what you got to think. Where you going to go at? Elon Musk got all this money, but they coming after Elon Musk. What are they going to do when all these governments come together and seize all his assets and he have no political protection because he is what? He's a European subject. All that money. They snatch his patents out. Everywhere he go, he got to do is get a license. He got to deal with people that shut him down. Why? Because the political jurisdiction he in, he has no control. That's his mother. His mother shut him off from the breast. Once the mother shut her child off from the breast, the child can starve. He can starve to death because he can't depend on the mother. So we have to understand that it's very important that we wreck this government, because when we do this, we are going to be praised and honored by a lot of people you think hate us. A lot of foreign powers you think hate you, they're gonna love you, they're gonna respect you because you got equal standing they got, and you can bring a claim against them. See, this is why it's so important. We gotta stop all this individualism stuff, because it doesn't help us. You go to court, be a ticket. What's a ticket? You go to court. Oh, I went to child support court. I stopped them for taking my child. No, you didn't. You ain't stopped them, because they come back a month later, kick your door, and knock you out, hit you in the head, put a hole in your head. You sit in the hospital like a retard. Your arm shaking, you know who you is. What happened? You can't think, you know who you is. You'll bust your head open. Now your family talking about, we're gonna sue for a lot of money. What good is that gonna do you? Huh? How to help your children out? What good does it do your children? How you gonna help the nation out? So, if you got a government and the government stand for you, they can't come and kick your door and bust your head open and take your child, drag your woman out, crying and hollering. No, they can't do that. This is very important. This is serious. It's very serious.
There's a question in the chat. Someone wants to know, what are the 15, I saw it, where is it? What are the 15 countries under the Louisiana Purchase?
No, you talking about 15 states, right? 15 states.
The 15 states.
You can look. Just go to the map. Just go to the map. Go to the map and see where. Go to the 17. Go to a 1700 map, and then see where you see Louisiana Purchase, and then see what states are in there. United States created 15 states.
I think Colorado is one of them.
No. No, no, Colorado's not part of the French zone. Colorado was never part of the French zone. No, that's the Spanish zone.
Excuse me,
Colorado was part of
Spanish
the
zone. Right, right, right.
Spanish zone.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, yeah,
You're right.
just
Spanish zone. Yeah.
I think Alabama, Arkansas,
But
Kentucky.
Mississippi, right?
I don't know if offhand.
Yeah, I think
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah, I don't know all of them. I mean, I haven't committed them to memory.
Let's try to get through
You
some of
know?
these questions. Someone said,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to.
speak on the so-called individual sovereign.
Okay,
Individual sovereign. Go ahead, Shem. Go ahead.
see,
So-called.
So called. All right.
let me say, Evan, we've been misled over a period of time going through the depression of the system. We were looking for a way out, a way out. And the way out for us was any remedy that came our way, we jumped on board. So what happened if he had some Moors that got with the Albion system systematically and start looking into the Albion's way of exemption for themselves. They're looking for a way out the de facto system, the Albions that have been mistrained, mistaught, that's been violating them for years. They found out that the system is not working the way they want it. We became a part of that, not knowing that our protection was not through the Uniform Commercial Code, not from what the United States legislate. Our protection already exists for us as exemption through the treaties, but not knowing that this is not being taught to us, and then by noble duality teaching it by Moors or Moors and certain things, a lot of times they are caught up in a misconcept. A lot of Abdullah, a lot of the Moors start getting caught up with misconcepts, was not helping us. But we became looking for an escape route. See, we didn't need an escape route. All we need to do is wake up and realize who we are. Claim who we are, right to self-determination, and we'll be out of this mess. The only thing was when we woke up, we started determining that, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm a Moor. I can do this right here. No, wait a minute. Read a
Well
document, read
said.
an instrument.
Well said.
When two governments come together and sign an agreement, extraterritorial means that the extended protection goes to all political zones. I mean, if you go to one zone, you are protected in a political zone of that receiving state that enter a treaty with you as being the hosting nation, the hosting state. Once that happens, you have to stay strictly by the language of the treaty. The moment that you go outside the language of the treaty, there's no protection for you. That's like a waiver now. You're waiving now that protection. So you gotta be careful. I tell the Moors, be careful what you claim, what you sign, and what you fill out a deposit. So when you go to their court, you make a deposit to the depository. And now you're dealing with the laws of assumption. A adhesive contract. You're now into a adhesive contract because the moment that you deposit that petition, the court's taking for granted an adhesive contract that you are a citizen of the United States or a citizen of that state. That's called an adhesive contract, which falls under presumption and assumption. And then let you play yourself out through a demonstration, which is called an express contract. Express contract means you act and demonstrate the same actions that a citizen of the United States or a citizen of the state would do. Your actions. Then the applied contract comes in when you write down a paper and speak as if they're an authority to represent you, or they're an authority to aid you, to grant you the rights you need under instrument constitution that does not apply to you. That agreement, that constitution does not apply to a Moor. I'm sorry, Moors, it does not. Because if it applied to a Moor, show me at the end of the constitution that the signature parties were sent by the Sultan of Morocco, and Morocco entered into a diplomatic treaty, and in the treaty it said that the citizens, the more subjects are receiving protection in your courts. It's in your power. Now, I do believe that the only treaty that allows the Moors, hear me out, I'm talking about 1778, the Delaware Treaty. It allows a deputy is a Sharif. It allows the Sharif to assist you in any criminal matter you got. Hear me out. And it also states that order for the United States to bring a claim against you as a Moor, then there be more. You got to be a jury of your peers, a jury of your nationality. So you see what's going on here, and that's so sit in Congress and legislate to make sure your rights are protected. See, I'm talking about treaty now, 1778 Delaware Treaty. Read that.
Time out.
Why
Shem,
shit? Why?
question, Shem. Who is illustrious Jakeem? You know him?
Yes,
Okay. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
yes. Luscious Jockey Bay is one of me Abdullah Bay students. He learned a lot from us. He's very knowledgeable of what we say. Yes,
Okay. He's in the chat with you.
yes.
Well, he's on stage with you.
Okay. Hold
All
on. I
right. So you
can't.
were talking about the 1778 Delaware Treaty.
Now, why is this treaty so important? Please hear me out. Somebody more say, well, oh man, there was Indians. No, they was not Indians. No, they was not. I'm explaining to you why they was not Indians. First of all, William Penn.
Oh man.
I'm here. He's coming back in, right? He's coming back in. He needs to finish, and he has to
I don't
answer that
get it.
question.
What is it? Private?
Yeah. Shem, you
Who's
back?
the illustrious Jakeem? Did he want to say something?
Who's that?
Illustrious Jakeem.
Oh, he's in?
Yes.
Jakeem, want to say something? Jakeem, answer the question. Answer the question that Shem was doing.
He popped out.
Because he can answer the questions.
Okay, Shem's back.
Shem sent him the link.
Okay. It says his device is not connected.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't. What's the question? Because I was.
He was
Shem.
talking about William Penn. He was
Yeah, hold
about
on.
William Penn.
Hold on. My phone acting up. This phone acting crazy. Oh man, come on.
I can hear
Now
you.
you
We can hear
good.
you.
Go ahead, brothers. Keep
Okay.
talking.
See, what we have to understand is that the first treaty United States entered to and acknowledged the United States as a sovereign nation into a war with they other coup. They entered into a coup with their mother, Great Britain. The Nationality Moors granted the United States asylum and amnesty, which you mean defend the United States and to protect the United States. And also the United States had their post, their first capital was on the Nationality territory. Now, in that treaty, I'm talking from the language of the treaty, which supersede all the case law that's talked. We talk about treaty, the law of the land now. That treaty, a deputy is a sheriff. A sheriff is supposed to be in Congress, directing Congress to make sure they stay in alliance with the treaty to protect their people. And also, if a Nationality Moor had a dispute, any kind of dispute, they have a right to a sheriff, a deputy, and they have a right to be tried by a jury of their own kind. That's not under national origin. That's very important. This is real jurisprudence right here. Go and read that treaty. We took care of the United States, our ancestors. They fed them. When you get somebody asylum, I mean, the United States became refugees. Nobody want to hear this. I got to tell it. United States are called rebels and refugees. They had nowhere to go at, no land, own no land. They had nowhere to fight the British. So what they did, they entered a treaty with France in 1778. They entered a treaty with Spain. Spain and France was the main ones fighting the Revolutionary War for them with Great Britain. Also the Moors, they call Indians, they call it British subjects. The Moors that became subjects of these two powers, France, Spain, they fought on the side of France and Spain against Great Britain. And what happened is that would force Great Britain to a truce with the United States to sign a treaty. The United States never won the war. The war was decided on surrender terms. On surrender terms, meaning Great Britain, the war was too costly, and Great Britain already was in violation with Spain, and so was Spain and France in violation for fighting their sovereign brother, the sister in a war while Cool was being taken up against the crown. So that's the only reason why Great Britain entered into a peace treaty with the United States, because the war became so expensive and so burdened on England, the Treasury, the Royal Treasury. So they entered a treaty with Great Britain. Now, before the treaty was entered into in 1783, the United States were already in 3 treaties with France, Nationality Moors, and Spain. This is very important. That, remember, they had no land. They had nowhere to fight the war. They had to go through the Spanish zone. They go through the French zone. In order to do that, they enter treaties with these sovereign powers. To do that, in order to get to Great Britain to fight Great Britain, they needed Nationality Moors territory. So the Moors they was on the run, being killed, slaughtered. It was not winning. They went to Nationality territory. They've been fed. The Nationalities, the Sharif, and the army, the Moors army, protect them and gave an amnesty as asylum. Why? Because they became refugees. Now, if you read the treaty, it says United States joined the Confederacy. See, it was already a Confederacy existing. United States joined that Confederacy of that Nationality Moor Confederacy they had with all the other indigenous Moor tribes. They joined the Confederacy to be protected because they was on the run. They given asylum. And that treaty is very important. Why, Shem? Because the young United States under Confederacy, before they entered the treaty with Great Britain to go back into the colony territory zone, the British zone, they have to have a sovereign to back them up. France, Spain, and Nationality Moors acknowledged them as being a nation. Therefore, Great Britain sat down with them and acknowledged them as being what? A separate sovereign community. Exercised authority to have elections, to vote for themselves, but they had no land. So what happened was Great Britain lent them gold money to go back into their territory, and the Lord proprietors, through the esquires, wrote their constitution for them. So you got to understand, the people was commons. They're still subjects to this day. The Jay Treaty, they're not under British control, because we the people is not them. It's the esquires, the Lord proprietors. They're we the people. But see, we have been so indoctrinized, not knowing the truth, because we don't read the instruments. We have to go back and read these instruments, because when they go to the World Court, The Hague, what are the judges of The Hague doing? The judge consultants at The Hague are reading old treaties, old documents to bring up, as jurisprudence, the way the value, equity value, to make a decision on the claim before them. Go ahead, Abdullah. I'm finished. Any more questions?
Are we going to fill questions?
Any more questions?
A lot of comments.
Yeah, okay. Read the comments too, Najma.
You can't handle the truth. The full faith. Oh, yeah. Someone's asking about the full faith and credit levels. Can you expound on that?
Okay. When the Constitution is written, it said 4 favorite credits are given to the public record in every state. The public record in every state. 4 favorite credits should be given to the public record in every state. What is a record? A record is a document, an instrument that's in writing. So if somebody come, a low proprietor, his children come and place in the record a will or some kind of letter, a patent given from the crown to a corporation or a charter, and then the low proprietors do a will, handing over all their prosperity over to their descendants. That instrument gets placed in the public record. That was any kind of contract is in the record. 4 favorite credits are given to the public record in every state. The public record means open record. Anything that deposits as evidence in the record, you gotta have confidence. 4 favorite credit. That means that the United States have to give 4 favorite credit to every instrument, a document that's put before them of value in the public record. So for instance, let's say for instance, all the treaties are considered public record. The only thing about it is this right here. They don't teach them in school this stuff. That's why they call it de facto government, de facto school, because they hide the fact you under de facto principles, analogies, policy, schools of thought, methodology that strips you of the right to know the law of the land. You're being stripped from that. The reason why you stripped from that because you as a pawn, they don't want you to know this. Because if you know this, everything runs smooth. Everything runs smooth. But not knowing this, they can take advantage of you and the people. So if somebody come and say, forfeit credit given to the public record in every state, they are not trained what that means. They were not be educated for that. They give them a job for a paycheck. They're happy to make a living, so they don't care. They'll turn you away. They'll argue with you. Then you want to spend all this money and go to SY to go into court. The argument is matter. That the public record does matter. Only credit is in the document that's filed in the public record, like a court document. You sue somebody to acquire title and you file a complaint, you attach all the documents and evidence to the complaint. That's a public record. Forfeit credit should be given to the public record in every state.
Okay. I don't know who Alkiman Hop Bay is. Anybody heard of him? He said, he or she, I don't know if it's a man or woman. He said there is
What's his name? What's his name, Najma? What's the name?
Alkiman.
Alkanan. Yeah, I know him.
Okay. Well, maybe you can understand what he's saying. Okay. He said there is no sovereignty in the United States. Understand this clearly because Donald Trump, would not have a lawyer, or Biden, I guess he's saying, would not have a lawyer for Biden's son. I don't know how that relates.
All right, let me answer that. Let me address that. All right. That's the claim is, all right, that's the claim. Let's learn how to argue. The claim is there is no sovereignty in the United States. That's the claim. All right, that's the claim. Let's go to the 1783 Treaty of 1783. This is how y'all do it, y'all. This is how you do it. That's the claim. I'm refuting that. Where's your evidence, Abdullah? The 1783 Treaty of Paris, the 1783 Definitive Peace Treaty between Great Britain and the United States. Article 1. His Britannic Majesty. All right? His Britannic Majesty. It says no. Remember, there's no sovereignty. That's a false claim. That's not true. His Britannic Majesty. That's King George III. King George III of Great Britain acknowledges the United States, viz. All 13 are named, as free, sovereign, independent states, and relinquishes. They're not blood. They're not coming from a house. They are British subjects who separated from the crown and create. So His Britannic Majesty is acknowledging they're not sovereign on the level of King George III as coming from a royal house, but through that treaty. Because you can't just make the say there's no sovereignty in the United States, and then it means that you're dismissing that treaty. You're dismissing the 1783 Definitive Peace Treaty, where their mother, the British Crown, acknowledges them as free, sovereign, independent states in that treaty. Come on, y'all. We can't just make these outlandish statements. That's why I say Shem said, read the instruments. So when you make that statement, there is no sovereignty in the United States. Someone like me will bring the instrument, right? Will bring the instrument and show the instrument, because what? There's People versus Godfrey. New York State Supreme Court case. The New York claimed to have territorial jurisdiction over the case, despite the fact that the murder incident took place on the United States military base. New York State made the claim that the treaty pointed to the 1783 Treaty of Paris between Great Britain and the United States. And Great New York State Clinton won that case on that. So you can't just dismiss these cases. You can't dismiss Article 1 of the Definitive Peace Treaty. You can't dismiss that. You can't dismiss, the 1783 treaty with the Lenape Moors. You can't dismiss the 1778 treaty with with France and the United States. You can't dismiss the 1787 treaty between Great Britain and the United States. You just can't dismiss that and make, well, there's no sovereignty. Absolutely not. I mean, they're standing on that. Those states, those 13 original states are standing, they're making their claim on that treaty. And they were acknowledged as that by their mother. We're talking on the conquest. But to say remember the claim is there's no, remember the claim is there is no, remember that's the claim. There is no sovereignty. That's the claim.
Yeah, but so what about the second part? So even though the claim is that there's no sovereignty, why is he saying that
I'm back on.
Biden's son and Donald Trump didn't have a lawyer?
All right, but hold on. And Najma, once the first part is all right, in making and arguing, once you dismiss the first part, once you dismiss the first part, the second part is dismissed. Once I broke up the first part, the second part is dismissed. So remember the first. All right, look at this.
Can you walk around, Abdullah? You're getting the feedback. So am I. Again.
Call back. My thing keep going. Can you hear me?
This is a good question. I can hear you. Here's a question. Does religion, can you hear me?
Yes.
Abdullah? Okay. Does religion supersede state through temple and church if the Vatican justifying religious scriptures? Oh, I don't understand the question. I can kind of hear what he's saying. Does religion supersede state through temple and church if the Vatican justifying the religious scriptures for claim? Does religion supersede state through temple and church?
Let me answer this because you understand the Catholic Church is basing its sovereignty on ecclesiastical power. Why the Catholic Church is established government principles on ecclesiastical power of a seer and not of the common people? Because on the ancient principles, the emperors, clansmen, chiefs, everybody went by what the dagon, the sorcerer, or the prophet said. They were the one with the divinity of the unseen world. So that's a basic sovereignty that protects the land. Because everything you see in the natural realm comes from the unseen world. Everything. All the genetic codes of the sounds, colors, sparkles, everything comes from the unseen world. So that's the legislation power is already written. Every code is coming to nature. Everything that exists, a tree, an apple grown, a seashell, a fish being born, animal being born, a woman being impregnated, everything is already genetically coded. So therefore, the Catholic Church understands the concept of our ancient seers. They know that they cannot, in order to be separated from all these nations that come up with all these ideology, these scams, the deceptions, in order not to fall under apartheid and culture genocide, they develop a principle standard of ancient ecclesiastical law. They never sanctioned that. They used it. It's already sanctioned. It's already proven. The authorities already did. The Catholic Church has exercised that authority. That's what you must understand. They don't give the authority, they exercise the authority. It already existed.
Right. Meaning that, yeah, the information was already there. They just stole it from the Alexandria libraries, and
Right.
so the information.
From Babylon, Persia, right? They stole it the moment that the Greeks invade Persia, they defeated Persia, Persia defeated Babylon, all the secrets of all its pieties and deities hid in Babylon. Persia defeated Babylon, the Greeks defeated Persia. When that happened, because remember, Babylon defeated Egypt. So the Persians, all the spoilers go to who will win. So the Roman Empire defeated Persia, defeated the Greeks, the Greeks defeated Persia, and the Roman Empire defeated the Greeks. All that architect, all that engineer of hieroglyphics, fossils, ruins, were all held in the library, royal library of the Roman Empire, of the Roman Empire care trust. Just like in Babylon, they had a royal treasury. They had all the artifacts, documents, treaties, instruments that were signed by the emperor, and the emperor came before them. Any agreement that the people scrolls that they've written, all this stuff already exercise authority over. What the Catholic Church did under authority at the seer now, the Emperor Caesar became also the seer. The Roman Emperor became the Caesar based on the spiritual groups gave their authority over to that one Caesar. The Caesar declared that one man should be God, and that took the authority as the Pope. That's why he took the mitre. That's why the Pope wears the mitre. The same instrument on his head that the Egyptian Pharaoh read, same instrument on his head the ancient emperors wore. Mm. And on that mitre is all the different deities, expressions of what? The eagle, the lion, all these things. What is he displaying? He's displaying all the spiritual attributes. Then he got the keys. Then he got the staff of Judah, the staff that said Prophet Moses had, the staff that Pharaoh had in his hand. He got the keys. He holds the keys. He got the keys. He got the staff. So this man said he's the Lord. He's God on earth. He's the Messiah on earth.
Yeah. How did he get it? How did they get it?
I'll explain to you. When a Caesar of Rome, matter of fact, let me say this. There was Abdullah under 1599. There's more books of the Bible. In the books of the Bible, a lot of these books was taken out the Bible, and some of these scrolls and books that was taken out, it tells you that when the Caesar, there was a certain Caesar of the Rome that declared Jesus to be God, When that happened, a lot of these Masonic groups called Pharisees, the Sadducees, all these ancient ecclesiastical groups that came to hold the law of Moses, came to hold the Sumerian text, they all gave their authority over to Caesar as a king, as a seer. Now the Caesar became the Pope, exercised the authority as the Messiah on earth. That's what the Pope is. That's why the Pope got a private territory, a private sovereign land inside Italy. That's sovereign. Got their own police, their own banks, their own money system, everything. It's very important. You know this. See, that's the highest principle of sovereignty. What the states did was they came up with a plan to block no other, and also the Moors. A lot of Moors nations operate in the same principle because the Sultan operated the principle for Mohammedanism on the Quran. That they we don't know what's going on here. The Sultan did the same thing. The Sultan defeated the Pope and conquered Constantinople and took all the spoils from the Roman Empire. All the Roman states became the conquest territory of the Sultan. Yes, the Sultans also put the Moors under conquest. I'm gonna tell it like it is. God, please just tell the truth. Let's stop playing around. Yes, the Moors also put under conquest not only by European powers, also by other Moors nations under conquest. Yes, you have been. And now we left one conquest party. And what the Moors used to do is catch the Europeans on ships and bring them here into the Moorish estates and put them on plantations and work and ransom the Moors so you can have territory, a territory where the king exercises jurisdiction over them and pay the Moors tribute. That means they would come in the Moors land, grow tobacco, all this stuff, grow crops, and the Moor extra taxes and tribute, turf. That's the turf of the contribution of all that they sell off the sea, the export. The Moors get paid. The soldiers get paid off of that. So we have to understand why the Pope did not create this. The Pope is only exercising a right that already exists.
Okay,
As
so the question further he's asking is, does the word state give up jurisdiction to the Vatican if religion supersedes and we're using the word state without qualifying?
well, state can use. Abdullah, you break state down etymology, Abdullah, so you understand what state.
He just got kicked off. I don't know what's
Okay,
going on.
now,
Well,
let's look at state.
Oh, I think
Let's look at.
Jakeem is speaking.
I'll go,
Peace,
Jakeem.
brother.
Break
Chief,
state down,
well,
Jakeem. Etymology, go ahead.
state is basically a body politic of people who have come together and have agreed through covenant or usually constitution by which they're going to govern by.
Okay.
And when you're talking about the Vatican, now I want people to understand what the Vatican really is, or understand what the Vatican is. Now, it is a government. However, it's claiming to be so, but it's a sacerdotal government, meaning it's ruling through religion or sacred spirituality, so to speak.
Mhm.
So what the Vatican is doing, just like the brother Shem Malachi just reiterated, he is claiming what the Pope is claiming to be is basically a pharaoh on earth. He is claiming to be the seer of the world. That is his claim. And I
Okay, so does the word state give up jurisdiction to the Vatican?
Depending who resurrected the state. Now, all the European states are getting their sovereignty from the Vatican based on the Magna Carta. Joaquin, I might be pronouncing it, the Magna Carta, where all the barons, the dukes, the Magna Carta, they all wrote the Pope for sovereignty to make states to come into statehood, that have their own elections, to run government. So yes, so if they exercise that charter is given to them by the Pope, yes, their statehood comes through the charter. That charter, it speaks for itself. Do anybody have the Magna Carta?
And basically, I believe at that time, it was King John. And he was pretty much forced to sign that contract by the dukes, barons, and earls.
Absolutely. Also,
Go ahead.
But
yes,
yeah, basically. No, go ahead.
yes. Now in Spain, all of them forced to sign that. The Marquess, all of them forced to sign that charter, because remember, under Roman conquest, states are considered Roman territory. They're under territory jurisdiction of Rome, and by the Pope taking the authority seat, that Joaquin said, as the Pharaoh, as the emperor on earth, the Messiah, the seer, they exiled the authority from that charter.
Someone said the British Crown had the Ottoman. Algerian Moors attacked the United States because Great Britain no longer were responsible for protecting them after the Revolutionary War. This led
Absolutely.
to
That's why.
the War of
Yes,
1812.
that's true.
Yes, that's why they signed a treaty with France and Spain, and also themselves. They had no shelter or nothing. They were considered refugees. Yes, that's true. Absolutely.
It's in Moors and Masonry 1 and 2. Yeah.
So if somebody giving you sovereignty, protecting you, amnesty, this is a problem. We must understand. In order to have equal standing, you must know this stuff right here. Because if you don't know this, because on the international level, they know this on the international level. The jurists that represent the UN, represent organizations, the American states, they understand this principle. This is taught. They must know this.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All right.
Uh,
Uh,
all the it's
it's
trolls in here
trolls in
is
here. It's
crazy.
crazy.
I've never seen
I've
it like
never
this.
seen it like this.
What's that?
She said
She
trolls.
said trolls. Yeah, I mean,
Trolls in the
I
house.
mean, you must be saying
In the
something
house.
correct.
You must be saying something correct.
Wow.
I told you a lot of people gonna become jealous. See, this is what we have to go through. I expect this until we see once we do what we have to do, all these trolls and the whammy, I call them whammies. All these whammies and trolls are gonna go away.
Somebody asks, is the NOI the military? Somebody asks, the NOI the military?
Hold on, you talking about those who classified as Negro color black, Moors classified as Negro color black, Moors who are legal Moors who are in the category of illegal fiction, are Moorish military subjects that are absolutely not, absolutely not, absolutely not. Hey, black man. 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 That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say.
People are not free.
All right. All right. In closing,
All right. Yes. To get my books, go to mooresandmainstreet.org. Also, we have our Moorish Treaty Protection and Constellations 101, 201 course on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. We have the Moorish Body Politic Formation and Constitutional Governmental Principle course, which are 12 classes on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. And we have other presentations or seminars on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. These are free classes. We also have the paid classes. We have paid classes. They're up now. They're on the Academy of Providence.org or .com. We'll have more on other sites, but right now, those are paid classes, but our free classes are on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. Once again, for my books, go to mooresandmainstreet.org. I will be on Office Hours with Dr. G, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Tuesday, October 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Office Hours with Dr. G. The title of my presentation, From Moor to Blackamoor to Blackamoor to Black, the systematic burial of the nationality, national identity of a people. All right, Office Hours with Dr. G. As I sent it to I put it on the some of y'all's Telegram pages. It's also pinned on my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey Facebook page. It's pinned. The link is pinned. The Facebook link and the YouTube link are pinned with the flyer on my Abdullah Bey's Facebook page. All right. So I'll see y'all next Tuesday at 8 o'clock on Office Hours. Dr. G will be back here next Thursday at 8:30. Peace.
Peace. Illustrious Jakeem, you in the stage, brother. You wanna say some parting words?
My parting words would be, just like anything, brothers and sisters, if you know, um, you understand this work and you understand what we need to do. I don't mean to put an alarm on you, but time is ticking, and we got to get real serious about where we plan to create our destiny. So if you with us, keep in tune or keep in touch, and as we bring you more.
Thank you for that. Thank all our guests, Abdullah Bey, illustrious Jakeem, and of course, Shem Malachi Bey. I'm Najma Rashad. This is Mayat TV DMV. Peace, love, and light, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.